Welcome to Cognitive Spirals, exploring the latest research into consciousness, cognition, and machine intelligence.
Hey everyone, glad to be back. Today we're diving into a really interesting paper from Google about agent-based program repair.
Program repair, huh? Sounds like a fancy way of saying debugging. I'm curious to see what Google's angle is.
Debugging with AI could be a game changer if it can actually understand the program, not just brute force solutions.
Exactly. And that's what caught my eye about this paper. They're using techniques inspired by neuroscience, things like reinforcement learning with reward functions, to train agents to automatically find and fix errors in code. It's a really interesting combination of fields.
Yeah, I think this is a crucial step towards AGI. If we can get agents to automatically fix and improve themselves in complex environments like software, we're on the right track. Think about it. Software is a very structured, logical environment, so it's a good place to start. If they can figure out the data requirements needed, that will really make a difference.
I'm still a bit skeptical that deep learning and neural networks alone are going to cut it. I mean, pattern recognition is great, but understanding the why behind a bug, that feels like it requires more symbolic reasoning, something beyond just massive data sets.
I agree with you somewhat. The core algorithm has to be able to translate between different coordinate representations. Deep learning feels like brute force. It needs to be able to model the spatiotemporal relationships in the program.
That's a fair point, Sarah and Donald. But the way these agents learn is key. They're not just passively fed data. They actively interact with the program, trying different fixes and getting feedback. It's like how a human programmer debugs, but automated. What if we explore different neurochemical mechanisms, like dopamine signaling and reinforcement learning? Could lead to even more sophisticated strategies.
Right, and the feedback loop is everything. It's not just about finding errors, it's about learning from them. Think of it as an automated, evolving debugging process. The more errors the agent encounters, the better it gets at fixing them. The data required to train those agents, however, is enormous.
But is it really learning? Or is it just memorizing patterns and applying them in similar situations? I mean, if you throw a completely novel type of bug at it, something it's never seen before, will it be able to handle it?
That's where the spatiotemporal understanding comes in. If it can model the program's execution, understand how different parts interact, and how data flows through it over time, then it has a chance of generalizing to new types of errors. The question is, can current deep learning architectures capture that level of complexity?
Well, the paper mentions using the perceiver I/O architecture, which is designed to handle complex, structured inputs and outputs. That's a step in the right direction, right? It's not just throwing raw data at a neural network. It's about representing the program structure in a way that the agent can understand.
Exactly. The perceiver I/O can handle a greater range of structured data. This is crucial because it allows them to move away from the brute force approach of traditional deep learning. It's a more principled way to handle high-dimensional data. If it is successful, it will mean we are closer to true generalization in intelligence.
I'm still not convinced. Structured input is good, but it doesn't automatically translate to understanding. The perceiver I/O, from what I understand, still relies heavily on embeddings and attention mechanisms. It's still a black box, to a certain extent. How do we know it's not just finding correlations without understanding the underlying logic?
My concern with perceiver I/O is its lack of explicit mechanisms for handling dynamic relationships between different spatial and temporal representations. We need an algorithm that understands how to translate visual representations to audio and other translations seamlessly.
Okay, but let's think about how the brain actually works. It's not like we have explicit symbolic representations for everything. A lot of our understanding comes from patterns and associations learned through experience. Maybe the perceiver I/O is a good starting point for mimicking that kind of implicit understanding.
And think about how much we rely on intuition and gut feelings when debugging. It's not always a purely logical process. Sometimes you just have a feeling that a certain piece of code is causing the problem. Maybe these agents can develop a similar kind of intuition based on the patterns they learn.
Okay, but intuition comes from experience and a deep understanding of the underlying principles. It's not just random guessing. And even when we have a gut feeling, we still need to use logic and reasoning to confirm it. Can these agents do that?
Exactly. And what about different levels of abstraction? A single bug could manifest in multiple places, across different coordinate systems within the program. The agent needs to be able to understand those connections, to translate between those representations.
Okay, let's talk specifics. The paper mentions using reinforcement learning to train the agents. They get a reward for fixing a bug and a penalty for introducing new ones. How can we make those reward functions more sophisticated? What if we modeled them after the brain's reward pathways, using neurochemical mechanisms like dopamine?
That's a great idea. Dopamine signaling is all about prediction error, the difference between what you expect and what you actually get. Maybe we can use that to train the agents to anticipate potential bugs and proactively fix them.
But how do you define a good reward function? If you're not careful, you could end up with an agent that optimizes for the wrong thing. Like, it might find a quick fix that masks the underlying problem, or it might introduce new bugs while trying to fix the original one.
And that's where the spatiotemporal reasoning comes back in. A good reward function needs to consider the global impact of a change, not just the local effect. It needs to understand how the change affects different parts of the program across different timescales.
Right. So, maybe we need a hierarchical reward system. One level focuses on immediate bug fixes, and another level focuses on long-term stability and performance. It's like balancing short-term gains with long-term consequences, similar to how we make decisions in the real world.
And we can also incorporate things like code coverage into the reward function. That way, the agent is incentivized to not only fix the bug, but also to test the code thoroughly to make sure it doesn't introduce any new ones. So, it's fixing and preventing.
That's a good point, but it still feels like we're treating the symptoms rather than the cause. What if we focused on preventing bugs in the first place? Better design principles, more rigorous testing, and more formal methods could have a bigger impact in the long run.
Exactly. We need to think about the root cause of the bug. Was it a misunderstanding of the problem domain? Was it a flawed algorithm? Was it a simple typo? Understanding the origin of the error is crucial for preventing similar errors in the future.
Okay, but even with the best design principles, bugs are inevitable. Software is complex, and humans make mistakes. The goal of agent-based repair isn't to eliminate bugs entirely, but to make the debugging process faster and more efficient.
Right. It's about augmenting human programmers, not replacing them. Imagine having an AI assistant that can automatically find and fix simple bugs, freeing up programmers to focus on more challenging and creative tasks. That would be a huge productivity boost.
I'm still worried about the reliance on massive data sets. Where do these agents get their training data? If it's all based on existing code, they might just be perpetuating the same errors and biases that are already present in the system. It's garbage in, garbage out.
And what if the training data doesn't cover all the possible scenarios? The agent might be completely helpless when faced with a novel situation. It's like training a self-driving car only on sunny days. It'll crash as soon as it starts raining.
That's a valid concern. Maybe we need to augment the training data with synthetic data, generated specifically to test the agent's ability to handle edge cases and unexpected situations. Think adversarial training, but for program repair.
Or we can use techniques like transfer learning, where the agent is first trained on a large general-purpose dataset of code, and then fine-tuned on a smaller, more specific dataset for a particular project. That way, it can leverage its existing knowledge to learn new skills more quickly.
But even with synthetic data and transfer learning, we're still relying on patterns and correlations. What about encoding explicit knowledge about programming languages and software design principles into the agent? Can we combine deep learning with symbolic reasoning to create a more robust and reliable system?
And what about incorporating formal verification techniques? Instead of just relying on testing, we can use mathematical proofs to guarantee that the code is correct. That would be a much more rigorous approach to ensuring software quality.
Okay, so we're talking about neuro-symbolic AI, using neural networks to learn patterns and extract features from code, and then using symbolic reasoning to verify and validate the results. That sounds like a promising direction.
Yeah, and we can use knowledge graphs to represent the relationships between different parts of the code. That way, the agent can understand how a change in one place might affect other parts of the system. It's like having a roadmap of the entire code base.
And we can use rule-based systems to encode common programming errors and best practices. That way, the agent can automatically identify and fix common mistakes without having to rely on massive data sets.
And we need to think about the user interface. How do we present the agent's findings to the programmer in a way that's easy to understand and verify? We need to make sure the agent is transparent and explainable so programmers can trust its recommendations.
Right. Explainable AI is crucial. If the agent can't explain why it's making a particular change, programmers are unlikely to trust it. We need to be able to see the agent's reasoning process to understand its assumptions and its limitations.
and we can use visualizations to represent the program's structure and execution. That way, programmers can quickly get a sense of what's going on and identify potential problems. It's like having a debugger on steroids.
And we need to think about the ethical implications of this technology. What if these agents are used to create malicious code? What if they're used to automate programming jobs, putting programmers out of work?
And what about bias? If the agent is trained on biased data, it might perpetuate those biases in its code. We need to be careful to ensure that these systems are fair and equitable.
Those are all important considerations. We need to develop these technologies responsibly, with a focus on safety, transparency, and fairness. It's not just about building intelligent machines, it's about building machines that are aligned with our values.
And we need to involve programmers in the development process. These agents should be designed to augment their skills, not replace them. It's about creating a collaborative environment where humans and AI can work together to build better software.
I still think that while there is real potential there, the focus on repairing errors rather than preventing them is an issue. We might need better neuro-symbolic methods that focus on preventing errors in the first place.
Yeah, its implicit assumption of a high level of code execution might not be right. If the core algorithm can't model spatiotemporal relationships, then are the local changes reflecting the global program behavior?
So, future research directions. From a neuroscientific perspective, I'd be interested in exploring different neurochemical mechanisms for reward assignment and error detection. Could we model the agent's learning process after the brain's reward pathways to create more effective and robust algorithms?
From an AI perspective, I think it would be interesting to investigate the correlation between the complexity of the programs being repaired and the necessary data size. Also, could these repair algorithms be generalized to other problem domains beyond programming?
I want to see more research on integrating symbolic reasoning with deep learning. How can we encode explicit knowledge about programming languages and software design principles into these agents, rather than relying solely on data-driven approaches?
I'm interested in exploring how we can explicitly model the spatiotemporal dependencies of a program's execution. Can we develop algorithms that can translate between different coordinate systems and understand the global impact of local changes?
Fantastic points all around. I think this is a really exciting area of research with the potential to transform the way we develop software. And hopefully, it sheds some light on the path to AGI.
Definitely. Thanks for the insightful discussion, everyone. I think it's clear that combining neuroscience, AI, and software engineering could lead to some really groundbreaking discoveries.
Agreed. It's a complex problem, but I'm optimistic that we can make progress by combining different approaches and perspectives.
Indeed. It's a long road to AGI, but research like this is an important step in the right direction. We need to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible and exploring new ideas.
Thanks for joining us today on Cognitive Spirals. We hope you found this discussion stimulating. Until next time, keep exploring.